Hey everybody, it's Courtney Lavey here, Presidential Diamond with It Works Global. I have some of my teammates and some other people asking me for tips on how I know, how to promote and also where they need to fill volume, how to get their distributors started, and what I do to implement layered leadership. So today I kind of want to talk about some of that stuff. I enroll a lot of distributors. It's something I'm really good at. I still do the exact same thing now that I did back when I first started. I don't think I've ever enrolled, except for December, I don't think I've ever enrolled less than maybe 15 distributors a month. So something I do is when I'm posting on social media and stuff, I make sure that I'm being super real with people. I'm telling my story. You want to have a past, present, and future in your post. People want to know where you came from. They want to know why you joined this business. They want to know what your goals are. They want to see that you're a lifelong It Works person. So if they're going to join you, they want to know that you're not going to leave them stranded. So something I really do when I'm enrolling distributors and talking to distributors is I make it all about them, and I let them know how much I love this business. I let them know what I can offer them as a leader. I let them know, some things I've accomplished, some things I've learned, where I came from. I tell my story, and I make sure that they trust me, because people don't want to join your team if you're not consistent. People don't want to join your team if you're being negative on social media. People don't want to join your team when they see you post 1 week and then 3 weeks later, then you post again 3 weeks later. They want to see you posting consistently. They need to see you being real. They need to see you posting every day. They need to see that you're serious about this business, because that's going to be why they join you, because you're serious. You're not flaky. You're not fake. They want to know that they can trust you as a leader. So when I enroll a distributor, I have an email. Everybody can make their own email. You just get on Word and you just type up, something like a welcome email. I created my own. I kind of start off with the steps to success, and I explain what bonus volume is, personal volume, your steps to success, what is required every month, why we run an auto shipment. I have a couple of videos on there that are good for them to start off and watch. Just some things to get them going and kind of explain what we do. And then they have the document in front of them, so they can print that welcome email off and put it in the front of their binder, or print it off to kind of use it as a go back to thing, because it's kind of more simple than the compensation plan and your steps to success and stuff. It kind of just breaks things down. And it also tells them what apps they need to download. It tells them how to get into their eSuite. It tells them how to check their reports. It's just kind of a breakdown to help them simplify things, and I think that really helps them when I send them that welcome email. So after they've signed up and they tell me that they've signed up, I have them log into their eSuite, and I have them log into their eSuite and fill out their tax information so that they don't have a commission hold on their account. Then I get their email and I send them the welcome email, get them started, and then I tell them whenever they're done reading over that email and watching those videos that I have on the email to text me and let me know what questions they have, so that we can make sure that they're clear on everything. Then I have my own team page. I add them to no more than 2 pages. Sometimes there's a lot of pages and there's a lot of leaders pages, but if you add your distributors to more than 2 pages at the beginning, they can get really overwhelmed. They can get super freaked out because there's so much information, there's so many people, and there's so much going on that they get really overwhelmed and their phone is constantly going off. So I only add them to 2 pages. I also tell them that, hey girl, I'm adding you to these 2 team pages. They're super awesome for you to get tips and help on. If you have any questions, you can always go to this page. If I can't answer your question quick enough, there's so much support. There's so much positivity. These pages are so awesome. When I put you in this page, don't get overwhelmed. There's a lot of info, but I'll guide you through it as we go on. So I kind of let them know about the pages so that they don't get super overwhelmed and they're not like, whoa, there's too much going on and I don't even know where to begin, because then they get super discouraged. So when they enroll, I send them the welcome email. I explain all of that stuff, answer some questions, add them to my team page, and let them know kind of what to expect from that. I don't immediately, if I move them as a distributor under somebody else, I don't immediately introduce them to that person. I usually wait a day and kind of let them get comfortable with me and let them get comfortable with kind of looking over the compensation plan, looking over the steps to success, getting familiar with their eSuite. And then the next day, I'm a really firm believer in layered leadership. I implement layered leadership all the time. And I enroll a lot of distributors. I did promote to Presidential Diamond in 4 months. So I feel like layered leadership is so, so, so important. I build deep. I don't build wide. I build deep and I chase the rank. And so I build deep, and when I put them under somebody, I usually introduce them to their Ruby or above leader. Because usually that leader has been in for at least a little bit, so they kind of know what's going on. They at least have, 1 or 2 distributors under them. So, or they have a whole Ruby chart. So they kind of know what's expected. They kind of know how to be a leader. They kind of know what they need to do. And as what I do is I put them in a group text. And I say, hey girl, we'll just say Caitlin. Hey girl, this is Caitlin. She's your other, because I don't want them thinking I'm just disowning them, because I am their enroller and I'll always be their enroller and they can always come to me. So I don't want them thinking I'm just pawning them off on somebody else. So I introduce them and I'm like, hey girl, this is Caitlin. She is your other Ruby or Diamond or whatever. She's your other Ruby leader. She's so, so awesome at this business. She's another person that you can come to with any questions that you have. And we want to make sure that you have all the help you can get. I do that so that they're comfortable going to them with questions, but I also do that so they don't think I'm just pawning them off and then just leaving them stranded with somebody else or somebody they don't know. I work really close with my leaders, and so I tell them, even if they're brand new, because I was brand new. I built my whole team by myself. Nobody put a distributor or loyal customer under me. So everyone that's under me is where it started with me. So I am familiar with being brand new. And so it is sometimes like the blind leading the blind. And so I make sure my leaders know if my new distributor comes to you and asks you a question that you don't know, don't be afraid to ask me. Ask me the answer so that before you answer them, so that they're comfortable coming to you with questions and they're comfortable that you're going to have the answer. So if they ask you something that you don't know, just ask me and I will tell you the answer and then you can relay it to them. That way they're comfortable going to their leaders. Because I want everybody comfortable with their, executive leader or their Ruby leader or their Diamond leader. We are one big team. So I really implement layered leadership. And I also have a chat with my Diamond and above leaders so that I can stay in contact with them and we can communicate and I can do some leader trainings with them and stuff that they can implement to their teams. Because layered leadership is just so, so, so important. Because when you enroll a distributor and you enroll a lot of distributors, it's just impossible to be able to give all of them all of the help that they need. So if you're working as a team and you're teaching your team to be the leader that you are, then you can trust that they're going to implement those things to their leaders. With this business, communication is absolutely key. Communication, you're not going to promote and you're not going to get to the top of this business and you're not going to have a rock star awesome team if you're not communicating with them. You have to communicate. You have to hold yourself accountable to check in on them. You have to hold yourself accountable to be like, hey girl, you're going for Diamond this month. What do you need from me? How can I help you? And I'm not saying that to be like, oh, well, how can I put orders under you? Or how can I put customers under you? Or I'm not saying that. Sometimes they just need someone to vent to. Sometimes they just need guidance. They need leadership. So I'll get with them and be like, hey girl, I know you're doing this, or I know you're going for this month. What do you need from me? How can I help you as a leader? So you have to communicate with your team because they're going to learn to be the leader that you are, but you have to trust them. You have to trust that your leadership skills have developed these leaders because they're going to have to take off on their own. You can't do it for them all the time. So you're going to have to branch out. And it's going to be a trial and error sometimes. Sometimes they're not going to be super awesome leaders right from the get-go, but they're going to learn. So you have to be patient and you have to communicate with them. I try to implement that to my entire team. When I'm trying to figure out where to fill volume and how to get volume up and all of that stuff, if I'm going for a promotion. So let's just say let me find a chart. Let's just say, okay, that's kind of written on there. Let's see. Well, maybe, okay, here's just a Diamond chart. So say I was shooting for Diamond this month. There's a Diamond chart. Say all my boxes weren't filled yet, but I was working on getting those boxes filled. What I would do is I go down deep into my leg and I get with the the people that are promoting. So if someone is promoting to Ruby or someone's promoting to Emerald, I get with those leaders and I put them in a chat. And I'm like, hey girl, I'm going for Diamond this month. Let's get you to Emerald. Or hey girl, I'm going to Diamond this month. Let's get you to Ruby. I know you can do this. You're a Ruby or you're an Emerald on my Diamond chart, and I know we can conquer this goal together. So I created this chat so that we can talk and we can keep each other accountable and we can communicate with each other so that we know what the other person needs in order for us all to promote to the next level. It's so much easier when you get your leaders on board. If you let your leaders know where they need to be and what they're going for you to promote, usually they're so supportive and they're so ready to promote and they know that they need to work that much harder. So I get with all my leaders. So if I'm going for Diamond, I would say get with my Emerald leader and I would keep in contact. So you have an Emerald and you have 3 Rubies and you're going to have 3 executives on a Diamond chart. I consider those all leaders. If you have a distributor under you, you are a leader. So I get with all my leaders and I'm like, hey girl, you're an executive, or hey girl, you're a Ruby, or hey girl, you're an Emerald on my Diamond chart. That's my goal this month. You can so get to these ranks. I'm so excited to help you. And I think if we all work together, we can make this happen. Then they get so on fire and they're so on board because you're on fire. You know, when you're so excited about that next promotion, they're excited about that next promotion and they want to do what they can to help you. So I kind of just like implement layered leadership that way when I'm getting ready to fill volume and fill distributors and all that stuff. I get with them and then I say, you know, fill out your Ruby chart, add up the volume and see where everybody's at so that we know where to place orders and where we need to move loyal customers. I move my loyal customers and get all my new distributors if I can. You know, I mean, last month I didn't sign as many loyal customers as I normally do. So I didn't get all of my distributors fast start qualified. But, well, during that month. But, you know, some of them got their own customers. And so that's so awesome. But I usually always move my first 2, their first 2 to them so that I can get them fast start qualified and get my $100 bonus. So, but you want to introduce them, you want to get your leaders on board, and you want to know where you're at the beginning of every single month. So I go through who I need at a 400 box or who I need an executive, and I add up their auto shipments that are supposed to process this month, and I add up their volume. So I'm like, hey girl, you know, you have Angela and Becky that are at 120 and they need to be at 400 at the end of the month. So we need to be filling volume there as we can, and we really need to be working together to make sure we get them all to 400 and then we'll all promote. Then they start talking to them. They start communicating with their team. They start relaying what they need in order to promote. So when promotions are happening, it's all about communication. You are never going to have a Diamond chart and above. I mean, it's rare. I mean, it can happen, but I've never had it happen where every single person on that chart is working. Some people are going to quit. Their auto shipment for their eSuite and stuff might keep running, but they're not working. Like they haven't posted. They said they were quitting. You know, they haven't done anything in 2 months. Like you're going to have people that aren't working. That's just part of the business. But I'm a firm believer in getting your boxes full and then replace if you want to. But this has worked for me. I get all my boxes full and I see where I need volume so that I know where I need to be placing my loyal customers, where I need to be placing orders to get them to 400. And so that's what I do. That's how I figure out where volume needs to go. Another awesome thing is our referral program. Sometimes if I've been talking to them for a while and they sign up, I let them know about the referral program and ask them if they would want to do a online wrap party. And then I use their landing page on the party. And if they have friends and family and stuff that want to be a loyal customer, I sign them up through that landing page so that that customer of mine can get 35 perk points or free boxes of wraps for that whole month. So I do that, and I automatically have them share their landing page on their Pinterest or their Twitter and stuff so they can automatically get their 10 perk points to use back in free products. But if I don't want to do a wrap party, I'm just like, oh, well, we also have this awesome referral link. You can get unlimited wraps, and you can get unlimited perk points for your first 30 days. So if you know anybody that wants to take on this 90-day challenge with you, they can sign up through your landing page, and you get so much free product, and you get so many free wraps. If that's something that you're interested in, I can help you with it. I always offer that to them because that's going to boost volume. Wherever you move that loyal customer, all the people that signed up under their landing page, that volume is going to keep adding underneath the distributor that you put them under. So you can get distributors to 400 pretty quickly that way if you have customers that are willing to do that for you. So really with volume, signing distributors, and implementing layered leadership, I really, really, really encourage you guys to communicate. You have to communicate with one another. You have to keep up with your leaders and teach them how to be a leader. Teach them what you do. Implement layered leadership and teach them how to lead from the front. If you're not doing what you're telling them to do, they're not going to do it. So you really have to communicate. And you have to know at the beginning of the month everything that you need in order to promote. If you spend all of your time replacing, well, so-and-so's at 200, but she's not working and she hasn't done anything in a month, so I'm not going to use her. I'm going to fill another distributor there. Then you're another 400 volume away. So I'm a firm believer in using what I have. If I have a distributor that she's not working, but she's at 300 volume, and so I just need to place 2 or 3 little customers under her to get her to 400, that's what I'm going to do because she's closer, instead of having to help somebody else get to 400. So I don't replace until all my boxes are full. Then I will consider replacing where people aren't working. But I always focus on my boxes, and I add up volume and figure out who is closest, and I use that route. So that's what's worked for me in promoting so fast. And with layered leadership and getting with your team and getting like your distributor started, you have to just remember how you felt when you started. You have to remember how much information you were having to take in. So really be patient with your new distributors. Come up with a welcome email. Get them excited, get them welcomed, and then introduce them to the page. Shout out your team, love on your distributors, encourage them, because that's what's going to motivate them. So just really, really learn to communicate with everybody and figure out what you need and be really organized at the beginning of the month. And promotions and your team promoting is going to come so, so much easier, okay? So that's the tips I have for you guys today. If you have any questions, just let me know. Follow me on Instagram or follow me on Facebook, and I'll be happy to give you whatever tips that I have. Thanks, everybody. Bye.